my skin. Stack up those dreams, won't let them go. Some way, somehow, my day will come. This is my time, gonna light it up. Stepping out into the unknown. Stepping out, oh, stepping out to whatever's coming on. Stepping out, I'm a man on fire. Sounds crazy, but I never lose. Oh, you know I'm gonna give it all I got. Do what I came to do. I'm a man on fire, and my day is overdue. This burn is never gonna stop. Do what I came to do. I'm a man on fire. But back to the wall is how I live my life. I risk it all, put it on the line, then blow it up every single time. It's a big world, I'll take it in. If I don't try, how can I win? This chance might never come again. Stepping out into the unknown. Stepping out, oh, stepping out to whatever's coming on. Stepping out, I'm a man on fire. Sounds crazy, but I never lose. Oh, you know I'm gonna give it all I got. Do what I came to do. I'm a man on fire, and my day is overdue. This burn is never gonna stop. Do what I came to do. I'm a man on fire. Oh, 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 oh. I'm a man on fire. Oh, 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 oh. I'm a man on fire. Stepping out into the unknown. Stepping out, oh, stepping out to whatever's coming on. Stepping out, I'm a man on fire. Sounds crazy, but I never lose. Oh, you know I'm gonna give it all I got. Do what I came to do. I'm a man on fire, and my day is overdue. This burn is never gonna stop. Do what I came to do. I'm a man on fire.
Happy Friday, June 9th, 2023. It's Chris and Mark with the NWA Exchange Podcast. The only podcast you need to be listening to know everything about Bella Vista and beyond. We hope everybody had a great week. We got some stuff to talk about. This two-tier justice system and all that jazz. Coming up right now. What's going on, homie?
Hey, my friend, what's going on?
How was your week?
It went by quick, just busy.
Yeah.
Just crazy as usual, like everybody else, chasing your tail.
No shortage of crazy this week. But it is what it is, bro. Just living on a prayer. Whoa, we're halfway there.
I know.
Oh, man, the news cycle has been off the chain this week with the FBI whistleblowers and the Trump indictment and even the local stuff, man. A man going missing in Bella Vista. Luckily, he was found alive. Thank goodness. Thank the Lord for that. It sounds like, the Bella Vista Police Department took some notes maybe off of one of our podcasts and, rallied other agencies and deployed dogs and helicopters and a little bit of everything, and they found that gentleman. So thank you very much to our public safety offices. for getting out there and putting in the work and locating that man.
Yeah, absolutely. We had two other individuals, unfortunately, weren't reached in time, and people are aware of that too. So that was my concern with the heat and what have you, to be able to find them within that 24-hour period. So thank God they found them, and we can move forward.
Yes. Yep. That being said, man, there's an update on the STR lawsuit. The case is now scheduled for 9 a.m. on June 26th. More to follow, I'm sure. It'll be interesting to see what old Tricky McGee Perry Mason Jr. Pulls out of his bag of tricks.
Well, apparently the reason why the delay was because the Attorney General didn't get notice, but I did call the office a few times and didn't get any callbacks. It's kind of like when I reached out to the State House in Boston, they never got back to me either, you know what I mean?
Oh, no comment. No comment.
I mean,
Too busy. Too busy spending that tax money.
I don't even want to talk to the head honcho anymore. I just asked for media relations, and I can't even get that anymore, man.
Oh man. Well,
you can't make it up anymore, man. You know.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable.
I just want to see. I want to see this go through the process. I want to see what the judge has to say on this, and I mean, I believe it to be unconstitutional. I believe it to be an overreach of government power. And I want to see what the courts have to say about it in reference to the short-term rentals and the ordinance that Bella Vista rammed down everybody's throat. And they still ain't even right.
Apparently the city doesn't believe that.
Doesn't matter what they believe, man. It matters what the Constitution of the state and the country say, right?
I hope they stand behind it. Well, the state Constitution and the U.S. Constitution on top of that, right?
Well, so I don't know. Does Bella Vista have a constitution? I don't know. Maybe it's written into theirs, right? Bow down to tyrants is Article 1 of the Bella Vista.
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
Well, we'll see what like you said, what the judge comes back with, but to us it's a blatant overreach of your rights, right? So.
Yeah, and it'll definitely tie into the title of this, because we're investigating the two-tier justice system. We have haves and have-nots, and the haves are usually the people in power, and the have-nots are you, the common American, just trying to pay reasonable taxes and live your life.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you have to apply the law equally, man. You can't just alienate one group and attack them. And unfortunately, we've seen that at all levels of government,
Yeah, and it's setting a bad precedent, and it's setting a bad example for future generations who are watching this. You want to talk about rebellious generations, man? Usually, you watch and mark my words, man. There's going to be a very rebellious generation that is the outcome of all this crap that's happened in the past 7 years, with politics and corruption and people not being prosecuted for blatant violations of the law.
Yeah.
You name it. It'll be interesting to just watch what the next generation that comes out watching all this growing up turns out like.
Yeah, and people are frustrated, Chris. You go into these meetings locally, and people have pretty much packed it in. They feel that they're not being listened to. Again, it's like the city council meetings we go into. You get your 3 minutes, you say your piece, and move on. And people are just like, throw their hands up and like, we're pointing this stuff out and nobody does anything about it. At what point do you just cut loose and say, I'm done with it?
That's kind of where I'm at, right? I mean, when's the last time I went to one of them meetings? No point in it.
Yeah.
There's no point. And they don't have any desire to be a representative of me. One of them up there
does. Yeah. I'm hoping, like you said, the judge will straighten this situation out with the short-term rentals, and we'll head in a different direction. But
so that being said, man, city calendar. We've got what up and coming, man. We've got the Planning Commission Monday the 12th at 4:30 p.m. Public Safety Building.
So one quick thing. This past Wednesday, I think it was the 7th, the Planning Commission had a walk and greet, but it was like 2:30 in the afternoon. I believe it was down in Blowing Springs. I don't know what was going to be accomplished there. I guess you talk with the people from the planning commission and tell them your thoughts. I
Oh,
mean, I
well,
don't
one of
know.
those people on the planning commission is, having the meeting there that directly benefits the Gear Garden, which they are also a representative of on the Bella Vista POA board.
Right.
So you can come by the Gear Garden. I'm sure the Gear Garden was open too. You can come by the Gear Garden and meet with us and talk and have a drink.
I just thought it'd be a little bit funny me just walking down the trail talking to Linda,
Looking like I don't know, man. It'd be more like riding by and seeing a sloth laying on the side of the road or something, man.
Oh man,
That was a good meme you sent me, bro.
you like that one?
Yeah, I did. All right, man. Well, then we got the city council work session, 5:30 p.m. on the 19th. That's actually, I don't know, is that right? Because isn't that Juneteenth? Isn't that a federal holiday?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So apparently the
Might have
Bella
to move
Vista,
it, Chris.
man, I don't know. Is the city council not recognizing that that federal
Juneteenth?
holiday and all the diversity, equity, and inclusion that holiday gives us now as a nation? They're still having business meetings on that? I don't know, man. I don't know. That one might not be right. So we'll just have to see.
We'll have to follow up Monday on that one to make
we'll have
sure.
to follow up because that is Juneteenth, right? That's the newest federally recognized holiday. That being said, the 26th is not a holiday. That is the date of the lawsuit, though. So that one might be an interesting one to watch or attend to see if anybody's, breaking stuff or throwing pineapples around. I don't know. You don't ever know what these people are going to do when they get a little triggered, right? But 6:30 p.m., Public Safety Building out on Forest Hills Boulevard. City Council regular meeting, and that's what we got for city events that are up and coming. Other than
just a reminder to people that are not familiar with that and want to attend the regular city council meeting, if you want to speak there, you can sign up to do that, but you'd probably get there about 6 o'clock, sign your name in there, and if they ask, there's a commentary, ask you what do you want to talk about, just put miscellaneous. It's really none of their business till you get into your 3 minutes.
I was just talk about America. America. Because what they're trying to do, if people continually fill that out, what they're going to try to do is say, well, this isn't a topic that's on our agenda.
Right. That's why I stopped doing that.
You don't need to talk.
Yeah. Petey did that. Remember, he did an audible on me right when I was going through all this stuff because I was talking about moving the.
If you're going to talk about this, don't talk about it because we're gonna do something different.
So I went back up there and I talked about it.
I don't care. I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to use my 3 minutes to get this off my chest.
Right. That's what he did, though. He pulled an audible on us because he saw what I had written down. So I learned my lesson. And I tell other people, just put miscellaneous.
Yep.
Several topics, whatever you want to put. Don't disclose what you're going to talk about until you get up there. So
absolutely. And that is your 3 minutes to talk about whatever you want to talk about. If you want to get up there and just sing "God Bless America,"
amen. Do that.
That's what you can do for 3 minutes to remind them, that this is America.
Yeah.
All right, man. Annual City Fireworks Show set for July 3rd. I'm sure that they've got all those permits in place and insurance riders and everything else for their own events.
This might be our last Independence Day fireworks. You know what I mean?
It may be the last Independence Day, period, man. Well, it won't be the last Independence Day, but it's going to be the last one of this one. It may be. You never know, man. You never know.
This one's going to be special.
Yeah. Well, we always do the big old bang bang here at the house too, man. So, we got
a video of that last year.
Last year was a good time, bro.
How much you drop? You dropped like $1,000 on that stuff, didn't you?
I'm not. I'm gonna put a price tag on fun. America. It's celebrating America's birthday, bro.
We had a couple good ones, man. That flew over the top of the houses, man. They were, They had. Where did you get those? Were the ones up in Missouri, right, or something?
I get them up in Missouri, or I get them. There's that one over by Wishing Springs, man. I always try to frequent them too because they give military discount, veteran discount and stuff.
Gotcha.
They've always been good to me, man. So.
Yeah.
If you get a firework that doesn't go off, you can take it up there and they'll give you another one. You know.
Oh, awesome,
Yeah.
man.
But yeah,
Cool.
there are some rules for fireworks in Bella Vista. I want to make sure everybody is aware of that. By city ordinance, fireworks are allowed to be set off from 6 p.m. to midnight, July 3rd. Excuse me, July 3rd through July 5th on private property with the property owner's consent. Fireworks of any kind are not allowed if there is an active burn ban in the city. No fireworks attached to a stick, such as bottle rockets, are allowed. Use safety and common sense while discharging fireworks. Be courteous and respectful of your neighbors and pick up all trash afterwards. Fireworks are allowed by state law to be sold in the city with proper city permitting from June 20th through July 11th. All right, ladies and gentlemen. That's it for your
So,
4th of July. That's it. That's it.
people that
Show's
have,
over.
yeah,
Have a great
right.
week.
People that have dogs too, man, just bring them in, put them
Yeah.
in a room, turn some music on. I mean,
I know.
some dogs.
I'm patiently waiting for the please don't pop fireworks because our fur babies. Just
Yeah.
something different.
I always,
Those
yeah,
posts just crack me up, man.
I'm trying to preempt that and have people just bring their pets in. My dogs really don't have a problem. They just sleep. They don't care what's going on.
They get over it, man. They get over it.
Right. Right. So I look forward to it. Loch Lomond, where's it? The Loch Lomond Dam there. So off of Glasgow Road. So that'd be a good time.
That's, Monday, July 3rd, man. So just be prepared to sit in traffic. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, 5:30 to 10:30 parking. That's the problem. You get there early, then they park you way in the back, and then it takes you forever to get out of there, man. You're almost better waiting right before it starts. So then the last of the parking spots are closer to the road.
Yeah.
You follow me?
Yeah.
That's your best bet because they park over on the golf course too. So
yeah, on the opposite side of the road.
That's a pro tip right there.
Pro
man.
tip. All right, man. I did check to see if that Freedom Fest was going to be going on up in the Osho, and it is unfortunately not, man. They haven't brought that back since COVID, man. But that was always a good show, and they did a really great fireworks thing. They had an air show, and a drag car, the rocket drag car that they bring out. It was just a good time up there, man. And they don't have it now, so kind of bummed. Moving on, man. Bella Vista Farmers Market, Sunday, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. over there at Mercy Way, Mercy Way, the Mercy Hospital.
So I went through there last weekend. There wasn't many cars, Chris. There wasn't many people out there.
Yeah.
I was surprised. I think it was just because the heat probably is fairly hot. So hopefully people continue to support that, I know it's being run by somebody new now, so hopefully people patronize the area and spend some money there.
All right, buddy. We've got our favorite.
$10, baby. $10.
Cost plus.
Whole boneless pork loins, man. $1.63 a pound, buddy. Don't know about bottom round roast. I don't want to do any roast in this kind of heat, buddy. You know what I mean? But split chicken breasts, I'm all over those at 92 cents a pound.
And the
Pork
ribs,
spare
man.
ribs, $1.65 a pound, man. And if you like avocados, dude, they're 98 cents each, man. I'm not an avocado person.
Guacamole, man.
Do you like guacamole?
Guacamole, yeah, buddy. Here's the deal of the week, man. Assorted tableware, 88 cents each. Need some camping stuff for your RV or your camper?
There you go.
There you go, fella.
No shirts.
No
No shirts, though, Chris.
No shirts.
So we got Coffee with a Cop, but just a reminder, 6:20 is coming up, 9 a.m., Bella Vista Police Department. It's over at the new building, public building over at 2483 Forest Hills Boulevard. So should be interesting, the conversation over there.
Yeah, that's at the public safety building, right?
Yes, it is. Bringing the police and the community together, buddy.
Yeah. Nothing like going in and asking questions in a police department. Right.
Hey, you wanted a tour? Well,
They got that. Yeah, we'll give you a tour,
too.
Mr. Nelson, and I'll lock you up. How's those accommodations? Oh man. All right, dude. Well, we've got Dirt Surfers break, and then we will come back and talk about some other things.
All right, sounds good.
All right, we'll be right back, y'all.
Show us what you got. Nasty's Freestyle Trick Competition, brought to you by Tyler's Carpentry and Treehouse. Each contestant gets 2 minutes on the course to show us their set. Judges are looking for style, use of course, and the difficulty of the tricks performed.
And we're not playing the full thing this week. We are back from that short intermission. So, Mark, I saw a post today from the city of Bella Vista talking about the bridge project update. And this is going to be the Highway 340 bridge project update. Go to Webby
Right.
real quick. The completion date for this extensive project has been pushed to late spring or early summer of 2024, so pushed a year. Due to supply chain, weather, and utility delays, the contractor anticipates completion of the Tanyard Creek Bridge this summer and the completion of the first phase of Little Sugar Bridge this fall. After that, traffic switch will be put in place, and they will begin demolition of the existing bridge over Little Sugar. So, it's amazing how we got, supply chain shortages impacting one bridge, but not the other bridge. And obviously not the Mercy Way Bridge. I don't know. It just seems a little weird. I think, this is just an instance of like, why, you did two bridges in one location at the same time. And that's a major artery from the Highlands over here. So, I don't know. Personally, I think possibly maybe you bit off a little more too. The contractor maybe did that too. I don't know, but I find it weird that you're going to blame supply chain and weather when the other bridge, Mercy Way Bridge, had the same weather, probably higher water conditions due to Little Sugar, and obviously they're operating in the same supply chain market. It's a bridge. So
the 340 bridge is Emery Sapp and Sons is doing that one. I'm not sure who's doing the other bridge, if they're doing that or not, but I don't know. Usually when I start a project, I make sure I have the supplies before I start the project.
Yeah.
You know,
I
even
mean,
if I have a little extra, I mean, these aren't small projects, but people that do these projects know what's involved with it and should have enough supplies before they even start something like this. So
my question is what was the original completion date, scheduled completion date, and is there contractual fines or
it's a good point.
stuff that needs to come back to the taxpayer because you guys are creating, a situation where the taxpayer is being burdened by, all these issues that you're claiming is the issue. That's my concern, because if you are on contract, you have a completion date, and every day that goes beyond that, then obviously the taxpayer should be compensated. The city should be, discounted for every day you go over schedule. I don't know. I didn't write the contract, didn't look at the contract, know nothing about it, but I'm just saying.
So that
that's
bridge
something
is
that people should be asking the city,
I think doesn't that bridge 340 fall underneath the state though, doesn't it, or no? Someone
I don't
must
think it
know
does.
that.
Maybe county. Maybe county.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree with you, man. I mean, there's had to be some kind of timeline somewhere to get this done, but it's unfortunate.
I haven't really even seen anybody over there working. I mean, when I drive that way, I don't hardly ever see
Trying to think.
anybody actually making progress on even minute tasks.
Yeah, they were over there a few weeks ago, but there wasn't any major construction being done in there.
Yeah.
And the other bridge is I mean, the Mercy Bridge is ridiculous, man. It's dangerous. It's not level.
Oh, that lane is the lane's very narrow too.
It's happening there.
When you turn off at was it Dartmoor?
Yeah.
It's very tight there.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm surprised there's probably been accidents there, I'm sure already. But
you have to you have to subscribe to the Northwest Arkansas Democratic Gazette and read the police reports. Maybe they're putting it in there.
Yeah,
I don't know, right?
Right. Well, now we're in 2024. I don't know if that'll get done. Plus, Reardon Hall was supposed to be done in September, Chris. That's our new recreational center over on
Is that still
Reardon
on track?
Road. Nope. It'll be moved to 2024.
Man, love paying for amenities.
So we'll
that we can't use.
Yeah, it'll be into January, so you're going to have an overflow of people still using Metfield and still using Branchwood. So you're putting more usage on that equipment, and that stuff will start breaking down, man. So you're going to have to start replacing that too. So
well, they got all the equipment from Reardon that they can just put in. They're getting all new equipment at Reardon.
Yeah, I don't even know what they did with that equipment, Chris, because some of it, there was a few pieces that showed up at Medfield. I can't speak for Branchwood. I go over there a few times, in and out of there. I don't work out there, but I don't know where that equipment is, to be honest with you. If they sold it, because I know a lot of that thing
stored somewhere. I don't
know.
Might
a couple pieces showed up in Medfield, but nothing drastic. Not like that was in there. So we'll keep on monitoring the situation and see what happens with it. But hopefully they'll get done before January, but it doesn't look good,
Yeah. So yesterday, news came out that Trump was officially indicted. He was notified by his attorneys. Kash Patel had some stuff to say about that on, was it Fox and Friends this morning, I believe?
Yeah.
We're going to listen to a little bit
Trump
of
side
that.
has been talking a lot about it. Let's bring in Trump senior advisor and former public defender, Kash Patel. Kash, good morning to you.
Good morning. Good morning, y'all. Thank you.
As Peter just said, this case boils down to it's not about having the documents. It's about what happened after the National Archives asked for the documents back, and they didn't get all of them. And next thing you know, there's a search warrant executed. Next thing you know, there's a suggestion that things were moved, that there's collusion, there's obstruction, there's all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, to me, look, as a former federal public defender in Miami and a national security prosecutor, it's a little simpler than that. It's what charges have they levied based on what laws? They're opposing the Espionage Act versus the Presidential Records Act. The latter supersedes the former. So it doesn't matter where they were and who moved them and how, if President Trump is the recipient of those as president of the United States when he left the White House. It's a pretty simple matter. What I'd like to talk about is some of the lawyers on Jack Smith's special counsel team. Remember, Jack Smith is the one who spearheaded the Bob McDonald case and got shellacked by the Supreme Court 9-0.
Governor of Virginia.
His deputy special counsel is Karen Gilbert, who's one of the most corrupt prosecutors to ever come out of the Southern District of Miami.
Right. A couple of other things. Jack Smith, we heard all about his investigation. It was very public who he was bringing in. Why did he choose to go so public with what he was doing? Why do we get all these leaks out of his camp?
Well, it's the same playbook that the FBI and DOJ have run, whether it's Russiagate, impeachment 1, impeachment 2, Jan 6, what have you. If it favors a story that helps push their narrative, they leak the information relentlessly, whether it's classified or not. Man. And what they don't leak are their actions of corruption by the prosecutors bringing this case. Right. And let me give you an example. The lead prosecutor, Karen Gilbert, who is likely to be the trial attorney in the Southern District of Florida in 2009, was so reprimanded in a narcotics trafficking case that she had to retire from her position. Jeez. And years later, she was promoted upwards at the DOJ. And now you find, and don't believe me, go to the Ali Shagan case from 2009 and Judge Gold in the Federal District of the Southern District of Florida and look up Karen Gilbert. She is the Weissman to Jack Smith, and she has been pulling the reins on this investigation. And she was called one of the most corrupt people to, guess what? She wiretapped the defense lawyer's investigative office.
Oh my
gosh,
gosh,
between the defense attorney and the investigator. And before she got slapped by the courts, she resigned from her position. This person is leading this prosecution.
Have you talked to President Trump? Have you asked him, was this worth it? I mean, why even take these documents? And when you are found to have them in your possession, just give them back. Because these are things like a letter from Obama, a birthday menu, which probably is not part of the classified portion, a cocktail napkin, a letter from Kim Jong-un. You listed a few others earlier in the show. I mean, is it worth it? I don't even know if America, I think Democrats and Republicans would agree that you shouldn't go to jail or be behind bars for more than 100 years because of this. If that were the case, I mean, Biden could go to jail, so could President Trump, depending on the different charges. But is it worth it? Why not just give this stuff back?
To me, look, maybe I'm old school. The rule of law is worth it. And President Trump abided by the rule of law, whether he took a cocktail napkin or 4,000 boxes of documents. George Bush, Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, and President Trump should be treated no differently. The two-tier system of justice is on explosive display here. And it is, of course, worth it if and when I believe Donald Trump will be exonerated to show that he has been a political target rather than a legal target. Yes. So whether he took it or not is not the question to me. It's the why they are prosecuting him when they know they don't have a legal justification to do so.
But well, Cash, let me ask you something about this, the jury makeup of Miami. You know Miami. Does he have a better shot at a fair trial there than he does in New York City and would have in Washington, where he might be facing the January 6th charge?
Well, sure, of course. I mean, Miami's a little better than Washington, D.C. and New York, but I think it's a
little
pretextual forum shopping operation by these U.S. attorneys and the special counsel's office. To me, I think maybe this will backfire depending on the judge that this lands in, because I don't know that this case will ever get to a jury because of the legal questions at play vis-a-vis the Presidential Records Act and Espionage Act. And oh, by the way, if you want to charge him with obstruction of justice, he has to commit an actual illegality. So these are legal questions that may go to the judge, and I think ultimately the appellate courts before it ever gets to a jury. And I think the DOJ may have bought off more than it can chew by trying to quote unquote forum shop this case down to the Southern District of Miami.
See, what they're doing is they're trying to rally the base, and they're trying to incite anger out of the base. And on top of it, you know, like Cash said, Trump has a 100% legal right. Let's stop this real quick. I don't know why it's auto playing the next one, but let's make sure it doesn't jump in here on us.
Yeah, it's troubling, Chris, in so many ways. With it's election interference, right? We have the election coming right around the corner.
That's where I'm going with it, right? It is election interference. It's trying to create they're demonizing Donald Trump once again, as if they ever stopped. Right. They're demonizing him, but see, Trump had a legal, like he had a lawful way to have these documents. Right now, when the National Archives asked for him back and all that, he kind of created a situation there. But that being said, he brought it up, George W. Bush, Barack Obama, right? Presidential authority gives him the right to declassify any document and keep it, right?
Absolutely.
As long as it's not like, government property, like what the Clintons took silverware and stuff out of the White House, I'd be like, all right. But here's the other thing. Joe Biden did not have legal authority to declassify anything, but he had boxes and boxes and boxes of stuff stashed all over the place, right? He was never president. He did not have a legal right to have any of that stuff. And where's the prosecution on him?
Yeah,
right?
It's troubling.
Right?
I mean,
or Hillary
doesn't
Clinton,
matter
who had set up a private email server and was emailing classified information. Oh, I don't want to hear it, people. I do not want to hear it. Okay, it has been proven, it's fact, that James Comey said she had classified material, 170 some odd classified emails on that server that they found. Never recommended her for prosecution, right? Department of Justice never sought prosecution. Yet smugnerant Hillary, love that word, she's out here on the Twitters, man, trying to sell hats, scumbag trying to grift and sell hats. What'd she say on Twitter? Bringing this back in light of recent news. Get limited edition but her emails hat and support Onward Together groups working to strengthen our democracy, right? But her emails hat. Well, first off, this is one of the biggest catfish pictures I've ever seen, because this isn't her when she was running in 2016.
No, heck no.
No,
I guess
that's not even close to a current photo, right?
What troubles me the most about this is no matter what side of the aisle you're on, every single American should be scared, because this is specific targeting of an individual.
A political
even
opponent.
Even though it's a former
it.
president of the United States. Yeah. This could be anybody. It could be a neighbor. It could be your family member, a friend. It could be anybody. And people should be scared seeing this happen right now. It doesn't matter who you are. This is not who we are as Americans or America.
This is so petty.
This is what separates us from the rest of the world right now. And everybody's watching this. Trust me.
And it's disgusting. And I'm telling you, man, Hillary dropping this little tweet bomb, it backfired in her face, man. I'm telling you, general public, the comment section is fire over here, man. You guys want a good laugh, get on Twitter, check out Hillary's Twitter, man. It is hilarious. Hillary Clinton sent you a suicide request. I love that one. Happy birthday to this future president. That's right. Hillary Clinton posted a picture of herself as a child and said, happy birthday to this future president on her birthday. Well, that one backfired, didn't it? Please run next year. Your only hope. Who said that? Oh, gay lumberjack. Go figure. Remember that one time you cheated and still lost the presidency to Trump? Yeah, that was awesome. Aren't you proud of yourself, Hillary? You managed to manipulate the entire government to go after your enemies, and you slither around without any comeuppance yet.
People are so creative. I like the one that had the screen. It had Mao and it had Stalin.
Oh, yeah, let's see if we can find
that was one of my favorites.
Look at this guy. Yeah. This belongs to you. Epstein's favorite. It hung in his entryway. Old Bill in a dress, man. I definitely had sexual relations with that email server. Here it is, right here, buddy. Leaders who have their political opponents arrested. You can't make this up. I'm telling you, man, Twitter is on fire these days, man. People have had enough. People have had enough of this two-tiered stuff.
I think with people with the shutdown for 2 years, people got more creative. Because I've been really seeing some good content. The articles have been written by the mainstream media have been absolutely horrible. You know what's great? The comments under the articles.
Oh, yeah.
From just individuals are just unbelievable.
Don't mind me. I'm just here for the comments, man.
Yeah, they're funny. They're articulate. I mean, it's hilarious when you listen to when you're reading it. It's like unbelievable, man.
Every now and then you get one. This guy makes a very valid point.
Yeah.
But,
what troubles me too, Chris, is the fact that everybody that's declared the presidency, DeSantis, Hutchinson, a few others out there.
I sent
Didn't
you that
even come
picture the
out.
other day, man.
They didn't even come out and make a statement about this, about the Trump situation. Didn't say anything. Crickets.
No.
Crickets.
Well, even I mean, like, you got Haley over there, Nikki Haley, sitting out there running her mouth about Ukraine, right? We got to fund Ukraine. We've been funding Ukraine. Okay, what we really need to be talking about is not getting our butt into World War III, right? Why? I'm sorry, the average American doesn't give two rats' asses about Ukraine.
Yeah,
we don't. Right? We got our own dang problems in this country. We got a lot of them. We got a boatload of things that we got to fix here before we can fix it anywhere else.
Yeah, I agree.
And I'm sick of hearing about it.
Right.
The old thing is don't start no stuff, won't be no stuff. Right? We're actively funding a country, and that country's running amok with U.S. weapons.
Yeah.
100%. Right? And U.S. money.
And hundreds of billions of dollars U.S. money.
Yeah.
How come we haven't seen Zelensky in a while? He was making regular trips out here with the
How
black
come we don't
bag
see
of money?
any footage of actually what's going on there?
Right.
Right? Why is it a media blackout over there?
Yeah. We know why.
We know why. Because we being sold the story.
Yeah.
And whistleblowers are coming out and saying, oh, I don't know. People that are in office are getting $5 million payments. Maybe that's why old Lindsey Graham and Nancy Pelosi so eager to hop on a plane after they got that overnight pickup of the bag. The big bonus check.
Yeah,
Zelensky was
charisma,
holding,
man.
right? Charisma. All that good jazz, right? I don't know.
Yeah. They were doing the contracting work for him.
I need my
man.
tinfoil hat, bro.
Yeah, that's what it is, man.
Well, maybe we're in a conspiracy theory land. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe we're just living in a really messed up world and some of us see it.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping a lot of Americans see for what it is.
Yeah.
And when 2024 comes around and
I don't have faith in
election.
the 2024 election, man. I don't.
I mean, I don't know. Seeing what I see now, I
vote
agree
harder,
with you.
guys. Vote harder. You need to vote harder, right?
I mean, the only way that I think this is going to get straightened out is if we go back to paper ballots. Might take months to calculate, but we might have to do it.
Dude, it won't take months to calculate, man. Canada's doing paper. Every other country's doing paper ballots, bro. France is doing paper ballots.
Yeah.
They don't.
We get it.
It doesn't go 45 days, bro. 45 days.
I think we have to make that decision and get away from any kind of electronic machines and what have you.
Term limits need to be applied.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. No doubt.
No. Term limits need to be applied across the board.
That's a huge problem that we're having.
There's every one of these political people, man. They rolling in dough. They're rolling in it, man. And they've again, the haves and the have-nots.
Well, they become multimillionaires,
right.
man.
I mean, oh, Joe Biden, where's the money at?
Pass some legislation here and there.
If I got $5 million, well, I don't know. Maybe in one of the 3 or 4 homes that you own, multi-million-dollar estates that you own. Maybe that's where the money went. I don't know, Joe.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it went up Hunter's nose. Who knows? They'll never know. They'll never know. How would they know?
Yeah.
They'll never know. Right?
Well, I can't wait to see who comes rolling out and declares the candidacy. I know they're going to start piling up soon.
Well, I did see a poll. We'll be happy to know. Well, some of you may not be happy to know, but I'm just going to, I got to put the facts out here, man. June 7th, Trump was leading the Republican primary polls. You know who was in dead last with 0%?
Who's
Boy,
that?
bro, Asa Hutchinson, 0%, bro. Boy, you're campaigning hard there, buddy. 0.
Yeah, that's tough. Well,
I mean, nobody. 0.
Yeah.
0.
That one's a tough one. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of guys. I mean, I don't think Pence should even be out there either. I think he's a hack at best. He doesn't have the mental fortitude to move forward. I'm
not a fan of Pence.
No.
And DeSantis is, DeSantis, he's
He needs to stay in Florida.
He's a liar
and
too,
just-
man. He's a liar
Yeah.
too. He told the people of Florida if he got elected, he wouldn't raise taxes. He told the people of Florida if he was elected, he would finish out his term and not run for president. Now he's got aspirations to run for president. He raised people's taxes. I mean,
Yeah. What you got? You got
as much as I don't like Trump shooting his mouth off, at least he's speaking what's on his mind. You know?
Well, we know he's authentic in what he says because look what's happening. You know what I mean? I mean, you look at DeSantis right now, you can tell right away that all the billionaires are backing him because he's their boy.
Well, it's anybody but
they
Trump.
Can push,
it's anybody
yeah,
but
it
Trump.
can. Right. He's got the best shot on the Republican side to move forward. And they know they can't buy him, so they're going to try to buy DeSantis. And DeSantis is, taking all the billionaire money he can get, and get as much backing as possible. But we've seen guys like him come and go. His best game is in Florida. It's a whole different game trying to run the country than it is in the state of Florida,
It is. So, that being said, Laura Ingraham out on Fox News again, an Ingraham angle, she's asking, where have all the men gone? Where have all the men gone, Mark?
Roll that beat.
Let's see what she has to say.
Now, remember, Black Lives Matter had the disruption of the nuclear family as one of its main goals. Now, the entertainment industry joined the anti-family, anti-masculinity crusade long ago. In television and films, male protagonists are often portrayed as kind of goofy, helpless saps or gender-fluid geniuses.
From the dance class to the ballroom. Oh, no touching. The battle line has been drawn. Yes, the floor work, darling. I made a
It's only been since Thanksgiving, but it feels like forever.
Newsflash for Hollywood. Women want men to be men. Obviously, they also want men to be honest and kind and sacrificial and humble as well. But as an old friend used to say, most women I know, even women who work outside the home, prefer a man who will protect, provide, and defend. And we don't want men who will elbow us out of the way to primp in the mirror, or men whose idea of a fun afternoon is getting a mani-pedi and a facial. No.
I've never had a mani-pedi,
by the
man,
way,
or
the Obama
facial.
people used in ads to push Obamacare. Well, even Morning Joe all those years ago couldn't stop laughing at him.
This guy
Which is funny.
Jim Van Dyke, it looks like he's out of a bad Vampire Weekend video.
Of course, all the Pajama Boy fans are totally shocked that young men are flocking to non-effeminate men like Jordan Peterson, who wrote 12 Rules for Life. And they're especially furious that millions are tuning in to listen to manly men like Joe Rogan.
Toxic masculinity, that's a hilarious expression, because you need to thank toxic masculinity for all the bridges, all the jets, all the rockets, all this toxic masculinity. If you break down all the things that men have invented, and all these toxic men have prevented you from being murdered in war and protected the country, and all the different things that you could attribute to toxic masculinity, most of it's positive.
That's why people listen to him. Now, the fact is, the natural instinct of most men is to protect women, but that's slowly being beaten out of them by angry feminists or overly feminine men who love submissive types. This seems especially to be the case in more liberal urban areas. Yeah. And the consequences are horrifying. Now, something that happened in a Manhattan subway car when a woman told a perturbed African-American man to take a chill pill. Watch.
Say the word chill pill.
Just punched her in the face.
Yo, you wildin'. She a
And not one man did anything about it.
Yep.
Not one man did anything
That guy
about it.
that guy was just sitting
that
there
went
watching.
on and on, but notice what didn't happen. Not a single man on that train intervened.
I'm like a psychic or something.
A more
man.
shocking incident took place in Philly last week when a woman was
man
raped.
card's been revoked.
Woman raped on a train
with
near
other
Philly as
passengers aboard, not a
bystanders did nothing. Are
single
you
one
kidding me?
Did anything to help her.
People are sickos, man.
And earlier this week in San Francisco, it was a young woman who chased down a man who pushed an elderly Asian lady to the ground. When the woman confronted the assailant, she was stabbed 3 times. Where were the men? Frankly, the mass feminization of men should trouble women the most. The victims in all those heinous attacks were women who were overpowered by bad men. And because the cultural elites and institutions have spent years villainizing masculinity, there were no good men willing to step in to save them. And that's the angle.
Yeah, that's sad. I mean, what does this country come to, man? What does this country come to, man? You know?
I don't know if that's the case across the board. I think that people have been, I guess, desensitized.
Again, on top of it, Mark, these are in urban areas. You know, San Francisco, not really known for, you know, manly men. Chicago, New York, right? These are urban areas, man. You try punching a woman in Hiwassee, Arkansas at the Hiwassee Hilton and see what happens. Right? You know, see what happens. Right?
You're about 20 fists flying.
You wouldn't make it 2 feet, man. You wouldn't make it 2 feet. You'd be tripped. You'd be on the floor
like the
getting mud stomped, man. You know?
But it's the erosion of society.
It is. All these policies, man. The critical race theory, diversity, inclusion, and equity, and stuff like that. These have no positive net benefit for society as a whole, in my opinion. You know, they don't enrich the people that they were intending to enrich.
Right.
All they do is create more opportunities for people to exploit that program and become, I don't know, quasi I'm a special person, right? I've got stature now. You know, it's not about equality. It's about putting people above your standard normal American.
You know, I watched that and I look back as being a kid, and I remember instinctively watching, and I loved watching Evel Knievel as a kid. I had the shirt, I had all his stuff. I'd wait till they go on. He'd be jumping all kinds, Snake River. He'd be jumping buses. I mean, it was a big thing, dude, back then. There was a lot of pride for America. This guy from where was he from? Was he from North Dakota? Where was he from? Montana. He was from Montana. Evel Knievel was from Montana, but people were so proud of he was American, and he had nuts the size of freaking watermelons, dude. You know,
he had a little bit of crazy in it, bro. He had a little bit of crazy. No, don't equate it to huevos, man. You gotta equate it to he's a little bit messed up, but aren't we all? Right?
Yeah,
aren't
dude,
we all?
I loved it. But you know what? It was just so riveting to watch it, though, man.
Yeah.
It would only last about 5 or 10 minutes, but
you
build-up.
remember the shows like American Gladiator, right? Stuff like that, right? Like
yeah,
they had a women's class too, man. But we're like, you know, your average person could go out there and compete.
Right.
Against American Gladiator, right? Remember they had that last part of that final course. They had to sprint to one of the 3 doors and make a decision.
Yeah.
And one of the doors had 2 gladiators. 2 of the doors had gladiators, and the other one didn't, right? And they had to sit there and fight to get through that, right? Like, what was toxic about that?
Nothing. I liked that show. As a matter of fact, I love that show. Right. That was a good show.
It was.
Yeah.
And then what happened?
Shut it down, man. It's too much
diversity, inclusion, and equity. So yeah, whatever, man. I'm like, speaking of diversity, inclusion, and equity, man. Target, man. Target's, you know,
wow, down 15 billion.
Thursday, the total loss in value hovering around the 13 billion mark.
It's at 15 now.
15 in a day, man. Yep, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. How will Target's woke policies impact the company? Well, there's a little video.
On this subject, Target, the department store, a woke stock looking for a bottom. Just look at this chart. The last month, as all this stuff has come to light. The stock is cratering. And there's got all this lefty political nonsense. Stock's down 15% in the last month, should be down much more. You're not going to believe what they're saying. We've got Liz Peek, syndicated columnist, Fox News contributor, Deroy Murdoch, senior fellow of London Center for Policy Research and Fox News contributor. Welcome back, kids. This is really bad. Target, okay, so they're giving money. They have a foundation, Target, and their foundation gives money to various groups. These groups want to shut down and level Mount Rushmore. This is the international symbol of white supremacy. They're giving money to that group. Demilitarize the violent U.S. military. This is for Target that claims it's helping out the veterans.
Crazy, man.
I think Target's got a target on America's back.
Israel's Jewish character, the Palestinian law of return. They love that. Parents must teach specifically white children about systemic racism and to understand color. Really? This is Target, the department
This is the board of
store,
directors.
and this is all guilt because of the George Floyd issue in Minneapolis a couple years ago. Lee, here, Deroy, you start.
Okay. Yeah, this sounds like the Oberlin Faculty Lounge, not a department store. And that graph is amazing, by the way. I think I've skied on more gentle curves than that one. Down, down, down it goes. What I wonder here is, where's the adult supervision? Where is the CEO who's going to walk into the human resources department or the PR department, whatever, and say, this is ridiculous. This is nonsense. We're going to sell products.
Way down we go.
We're out
Way
of
down we go.
Part of this is pressure from companies like BlackRock and Vanguard and these other folks have all these wokeness ratings. I really want to see a group of CEOs get up and say, this is done. We're finished with this. We're going to run our companies. We're going to sell our products as we did before.
That's what needs to happen.
Give to the DNC.
That's the only way you're going to make America great again. Is it's not Donald Trump. It's Americans actually taking their power back. It's Americans actually sitting down and saying, how is this actually positive for me? How is it positive for me to spend $1 million on a diversity, equity, and inclusion program and lose $15 billion?
This is why they don't want to cow down. Anheuser-Busch Budweiser still hasn't accepted any responsibility. Same thing with Target. But what's even more interesting is JP Morgan comes out, Jamie Dimon's the CEO, and downgrades the stock of Target, but says, due to inflation and people have limited amounts of money, the reason why it's going down. That's absolutely false. This is coming from a CEO.
People are, I'm sure due to inflation, Anheuser-Busch has lost as much money as they have. But meanwhile, the market share, I'm saying Anheuser-Busch though.
Yeah, right.
But in regards to the beer market, other competitors, Coors, Miller Lite, stuff like that,
Yuengling,
they're all going up. Right,
they
took the share. Right, people said enough,
absolutely
no more.
Yeah,
no
and
more.
that's what's happened on Target. And
Take
Jamie
notice.
Dimon is trying
Take
to
notice.
Jamie Dimon, this is the CEO. Everybody calls this guy a genius. He downgrades the stock because he's saying that people don't have the money, and due to inflation.
Oh, he's downgrading the stock to sell more shares of it to the general public so that he can actually maintain that status. But people aren't buying.
Meanwhile, Walmart's not suffering. They have record earnings. So you can't have it both ways, Jamie. That's not how it works. People are seeing through that guy too. He's a joker.
Yeah, Walmart's not suffering. Walmart hasn't, Walmart's done some stuff in the past, right? But they've brought product into their businesses that didn't do well, and I mean, 6 months later, the product was still sitting on the shelves, right?
Right.
Clearance aisle.
It's the lack of ownership is.
But they're not actively like saying, "Hey, we're forcing this down everybody's throat, and we're standing on this hill, and we're going to keep this product in here," right? Not like Target. Target's doing it. Target's hell bent on having, pride stuff for children in the children's section. They want that.
Yep. Right.
They've got a target on your kid's back.
Right. Yeah. The focus is on the kids, right? At the end of the day, I think Anheuser-Busch only move is because they're not willing to accept any responsibility is to sell the Bud Light, the Budweiser brand. Sell it. Be done with it. Take your loss and move on.
I mean, like if they sold it, it would have to be sold to somebody that was like.
It has to be sold to it. It has to be just sold to a private company that's willing to run with it and do it their own way.
Imagine having a company though, and you hire this one idiot. And they do that to your company.
Yeah, well, they were all on board. It comes from the top, Chris. Same thing here. It comes from the board of directors.
Right.
All these
It
board of directors.
was like the Pea Ridge school thing, right? Where the superintendent of not Pea Ridge, Prairie Grove, where the superintendent of the school, approved a video to be played. Probably didn't even watch the video. But ultimately, it was their responsibility. All these teachers got triggered, and you're on paid leave for the rest of the year, and you're done.
Right.
That's it. You made the decision. Ultimately, somebody made the decision to approve what's going on, and now you're going to have to stick with that decision. Just like CNN, the CEO of CNN stepped down this week as well.
Yeah.
Right? Can't turn it around, man.
Right. So remember I said 2 weeks ago, I said I was just appalled at the fact that these people are getting away with this without lawsuits being lined up. Now people are the lawsuits are piling up now for, basically people that have invested in Target and people that invested in Budweiser, Bud Light, or InBev, Anheuser-Busch, want to be compensated for the losses.
Yeah, for a bonehead decision.
For the harm
a decision
that's been done
that
to the market
does
share.
nothing to further your brand.
Right. And
again,
they're saying
use the analogy
exactly,
of the school districts, spending $1 million on a diversity and inclusion office.
Right.
This is your taxpayer dollars. A school district in what I think it was Indiana or Ohio, one of the two, $1 million for a new diversity and inclusion and equity office, right? But yet they're failing the Black community on reading and math levels.
Right.
Failing them.
In
record numbers.
And with the lawsuits that are piling up now, it's like we said before, the responsibility with these companies, these publicly held companies, are for the shareholders to making money for them. And what do they do? That's why they're going to lose these lawsuits, man. They're going to start piling up, and they're never going to be able to dig themselves out,
Speaking of permanent and never be able to, that's the definition of permanent. Anheuser-Busch faces permanent 15% decline in Bud Light sales, but now may be attractive time to buy stock. That's what Forbes is telling everybody. Go out and buy Bud Light, Anheuser-Busch stock. No. If you've ever watched the Kramer Report, okay, you know that everything that guy tells you to do doesn't work, right? So that's what they're doing. They're trying to take your money and run off like bandits. There's no turning. I don't think. I mean, I'll be surprised, but I don't think there is turning around Anheuser-Busch at this point. I don't think there is.
I don't think so, Chris. It's gone
It's a
so
tainted
far
brand,
off.
man.
Yeah, I mean, the CEO didn't even have enough spine to get out there and get it done. He half-heartedly made an excuse, and they doubled down and lied about it too, that it was just a joke. You know what I mean? It's just it's done.
No, it wasn't a joke. It took you. It took you a week to come out. People were wondering if it was a joke because it came out on April Fool's Day, but you didn't. When the outrage started, you never said nothing. It took you a week to come out and say something, and it wasn't apologetic.
Right.
It was like
just an excuse.
Yeah. Blow smoke. Okay, fine, whatever.
So I want to see what the
I don't know.
Come Labor Day, I want to see what the market share is at. I want to see how it goes on the 4th of July. They're going to bleed out hard in the 4th of July and the wrap up going into the fall and see where they stand. I think they're going to be down another 10, 15%. I mean, the pain is just going to keep on coming. And the fact that they can't even acknowledge what they've done is just comical to me. People are just sitting there laughing their asses off. They'd rather sell you a case for $3.85 than acknowledge they've done something wrong.
They were giving it away for free, man. They were giving it away for free, I think, for Memorial Day, man. People weren't taking it. No, sir.
24
I would be caught
cents.
dead drinking that. Now, see,
me
being the crafty guy I am, look, you telling me you give me a 24-pack of Bud Light. All right, I'm going to pull up behind the store. You're going to toss it in the back of the car and shut the tailgate. That's it, okay? I will not have my hands on that until I get home, and it's going to be in a bag. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in the handy-dandy Yeti tumbler, and you won't ever know what I'm drinking.
Well, I mean, dude, it's down to 20 cents a can. You can't beat that, man. I mean, what? And people aren't even touching it then.
I mean, it's like it's almost
like
getting to the
poison.
point where it's going to have to be like, remember the Super Saver back in the day where they just had like the white can that said beer on it?
Yeah.
This is the stuff that Homer Simpson was drinking, man. It was like before they had Duff beer. Okay, it was just a can with beer.
Hey,
right?
that might not be a bad idea. Just come out with another brand and start marketing.
Just call it beer.
Yeah.
Beer. It's beer. What brand of it's just beer, man. Beer brand. Beer. Like, I don't care about your marketing or anything like that. If your beer's good, it's good. I've never been like,
but they were charging
ever
as
since
much
I
as an
evolved into being kind of a productive adult, man. I haven't drank at Anheuser unless like that's all they had, right? Like, well, I'll drink a Bud Light because everything else.
But the problem with it, Chris, is they're charging imported prices for a domestic beer. That's the problem. It's so expensive that what the hell do I want to buy it for? I can buy a nice imported beer, or in my case, I buy Yingling. It's a better beer.
Right. Yingling is a better beer.
Yeah, 100%. It's a way better
like
beer.
if I can't get a Corona, man, I'll drink a Yingling.
Yeah.
For real. I'm not gonna lie, man. I've got off the actual beer kick a little bit though, man. I've been doing these Trulies,
Those Mountain Dews,
and the Mountain Dews, bro. I don't know. I don't know. Don't feel too slothy the next day, man.
I try to have a couple of those, man. I don't know. I just don't have the taste for it, I guess. Yeah,
the lemonades. I definitely am. I'm liking the seltzer lemonades. That's where I'm.
Are they good
these days?
Yeah.
It's like drinking a lemonade, man.
Yeah.
Little
I'll
seltzer
have to
lemonade.
try that one.
Yeah, not too bad. But just be careful, man. They sneak up on you. You're like,
what's the alcohol by volume on those?
5%. 5%.
Oh, that's a pretty good kick.
Not bad. Not bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's I don't know. I guess it's working for me, man. I don't think I'm gaining any weight.
I know.
I think I might be losing a little, man.
I know.
So
I just like beer, man. I just enjoy beer.
I just
I'll
like I
drink
said,
hard liquor.
I think I was starting to have some gut issues. And I was like, okay, maybe
All for the beer.
Yeah. I was like, I don't know. Maybe I'm getting a little bit of a gluten allergy. I don't know, man. But I had to take a hard moment pause and say, okay, there's something not right. Let me see what I can do. So
I remember you were saying
shift
to me
and change
before.
in diet, shift and change in diet or what you're consuming. Everything in moderation, obviously. And doing a lot better these days.
Cool. Good deal, man.
So that being said, y'all, we went 11 minutes over our 9 o'clock mark, but I enjoyed the conversation, brother. It was good.
Man.
Hopefully our viewers enjoyed it. When you guys get around to watching this, make sure to like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, hit that like button, drop us a comment. It helps us get over the algorithm and all that, and keeps it kind of in people's feeds. That's about the best thing you can do to support the show. Remember, all of this is paid for and done out of our time and our dime. And anything that you guys can do to help elevate us and amplify us in the general community, we appreciate that as always. That being said, I am going to start working on some 4th of July shirts probably this weekend. Get some designs put together. We'll get some stuff out on the merch shop. Keep an eye out for that. We may pop back in maybe on Sunday or Monday. But till you see us again, stay happy, healthy, humble. Be nice to one another. And always remember, don't be a dick. No, just kidding.
Call your mom.
Call your mama. Call your mama.
Have
Don't
a
be
great
a
weekend,
dick. Call your
everybody.
mama. Right. All right, man.
Take care, man.
All right. Have a good one. We'll see y'all later.
Everybody, come take my hand, come take my hand. We'll walk this road together.